Hello, Bio 120 students. This is a video which will help you through Milestone One. I thought that I would put this together for you to help you and explain what the format looks like and what types of information might be included. So first of all, there's a list of topics for your final project that are listed here, and these are found in your Milestone One guidelines and rubric. Population ecology, air pollution, water pollution, the energy crisis, and alternate sources of energy, eutrophication, which you can think of as the aging of bodies of water, the human population, genetic modification, deforestation, biodiversity and endangered species, global warming and climate change, waste management, or a topic of your choice. And this topic must be approved by me, so you need to email me if you have something different from one of the topics that's on this list. So the first thing to do is pick a topic that interests you, and I really suggest that you pick one that does interest you. If you're going into conservation, maybe it's biodiversity and endangered species, or if you're interested in water ecology, maybe eutrophication. So it just depends on what you're interested in. So choose a topic that you're interested in because you are really going to delve into this topic. Remember that the Shapiro Library is available to you so that you can find all different types of sources. You can also use Google Scholar, which is awesome. I definitely would suggest using your textbook as a resource because there's lots of good information in there too, so that you have lots of choices of resources available to you. All right, this is what must be included in Milestone One. There should be an introduction section, and all of these will be formatted in the form of an outline, but I'm going to talk about that again in just one second. So the first section that you need to include in Milestone One is the introduction. So you're introducing your huge topic to the reader, to the person who's being presented to. So in the introduction, you need to describe the topic that you selected. If you choose eutrophication, then of course it has to be a definition that's included in this, because most people are not going to know what eutrophication is. Why is this significant or interesting to you? Why is it significant or interesting in the field of biology? And then you're going to support your response with real-world examples. So if a lake near you is becoming old and filling up with sediment, maybe that's what you might include, or one of the Great Lakes, or a river near you. Usually it's lakes and ponds, but it could be a river too. Use a real-world example or several in this introduction so that you can show that you know what you're talking about, and here's why the reader might become interested in this particular topic. Okay, then that's the introduction. So next you have the topic itself. So where, how, and who need to be answered. Where, describe the location, including the ecosystems or biomes where this topic is important in the environment. In other words, where does your topic occur? Which ecosystem or biomes are affected? And this is a description. This is not just a list. This is a description. So see up there, keyword, describe the primary locational sources. So these are descriptions, not just one-word answers. So that would be at least a nice paragraph. How? Analyze the processes by which this topic is generated. How does this happen? How does your topic occur? How does eutrophication happen? So analyze, this means this is going to be a whole other paragraph where you're going to describe the process. How does global warming happen? How does climate change happen? How do endangered species come about? What is this process like? Then the who. Describe the species, including their classification, and you just learned that this week in chapter 20.1. So, which species benefit as a result of this topic? Which within the human species are there individuals or industries that benefit? So you need to take a look at this because there must be some reason that this is happening in the world. And that's what we want to delve into, not just what's affected, but also the reason behind this process that is happening. So who experiences positive side effects because of this topic? Let's delve into that. All right, this is what should be included in Milestone One. Like I said, it's outline format, but these are not just one-word answers. These are descriptions. Describe the topic, describe the sources, analyze the processes, describe the species. So these are in paragraph form to give good and complete information. When you get information from a source, make sure that you include those sources as references. This is extremely important. And one word of caution here. In this whole project, you should not be copying and pasting from sources. You need to write everything in your own words. Give credit to your sources from which your information came, but this should be written in your own words. Don't just copy and paste anything from a source. All right, now I want to give you a little bit more information. So this is what your Milestone One will look like as part of your final project that will be due in week 7. I'm giving you an example. I chose an example that's not in your list of topics because I didn't want you to use my example as yours. So acidification of bodies of water, this would be your first slide. So now what am I telling you to do? Milestone One, that information in Milestone One will be turned into PowerPoint slides or something that's similar to PowerPoint. You'll be turning your information into slides as if this were a presentation to someone, and it is, it's a presentation to me. So you need an introductory slide to tell what the topic is and who you are and what the class is and what the day is, etc., etc. So here is the first slide, acidification of bodies of water. All right, then next it would be awesome to have a picture included. Make sure you have a description of what the picture is because I may not know what this thing is that you're showing me. So make sure you have captions so that your reader, your audience knows what it is that you're showing them. All right, you notice this corresponds to part of that Milestone One. Here's the introduction. This should be written in paragraph form. And look at it. It's exactly the same information that you should have given me in your outline. Introduce your topic to the audience. So think about this as you describing to someone who doesn't know anything about this what your topic is. And what are you going to include? Why acidification of bodies of water is important to you, why it's important in the field of biology, and give some real-world examples. Do you know how the ocean water is becoming more acidic? Is it becoming more acidic? Are bodies of water near you, like a lake near you, becoming more acidic? Give these as examples. The next section is under the topic section. So where does this happen? Which ecosystems or biomes are affected by this particular topic? So in my case, acidification of bodies of water, I would include all aquatic, meaning water, ecosystems, including wetlands, lotic, linthic, freshwater ecosystem. So linthic is slow and lotic is fast moving bodies of water like rivers, and linthic would be lakes, for example. Estuaries, marshlands, coral reefs, benthic, which is down deep in the ocean. or pelagic, which is wide open ocean ecosystems. So I would include all of those, and I would describe those. I wouldn't just give a list, because I need the reader or my audience to know what these are. So where? And then it would be nice to include some pictures of these. So I've just put placeholders here. Instead of going out and finding all these pictures, I put placeholders here of all the different types of water environments where acidification would be important. Remember to give credit when you use pictures. Give credit to your sources. You don't just copy pictures from anywhere out there on the internet and stick them in here. Make sure you give the sources for your pictures. And you can do that in tiny, tiny print, tiny font. That's perfectly fine. All right, how? Describe how acidification of water ecosystems occurs. Included in this would be the burning of fossil fuels, because that releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And then that CO2 can be absorbed by bodies of water and lower the pH of that water. I would also include release of pollutants from industries, such as different sulfur compounds, that results in the formation of sulfuric acid in the atmosphere, which then ends up as part of rain in these bodies of water. So describe how acidification occurs. What are the processes that happen that make it happen? And here I give a diagram, and you notice that I've given credit to NOAA here for this particular source. Now, one thing. Okay, I put this diagram up here, but you notice underneath that I say explain the diagram to support your case. So you can't just put the diagram up here and expect me to know what you want me to see. So explain to me the importance of this. What am I supposed to see out of this? Who? Describe the species that benefit from this process. And in your case, it may be species besides human beings that are positively affected by this particular process. But of course, it's probably human beings, and in what form? Are there companies that profit, industries, countries that benefit from this particular process? Because remember, there must be some reason that this is happening in the world. So in my case, in acidification of bodies of water, I would include a discussion of first world countries that burn the majority of fossil fuels and polluting industries across the globe that release contaminants into the air. Now, got another picture. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, of course. Here's a city with smog, and I'm going to explain the significance of this photo because you can see the smog in the air. And what does this mean? What does the smog contribute to the acidification of the ocean? So I would have to explain that on the side of this picture. So that would be the end of your first slides for your final project that have to do with Milestone One. You notice that you're going to have two other milestones, Milestone 2 and Milestone 3, and these would be turned in as in slide format, and you would put all three of these sections of slides together to produce your final project. I'll give you one other hint here. So for Milestone 1, you only have to turn in an outline, but a very descriptive outline, of course. I already mentioned, not just single words, but descriptions and answers to all those questions we had in the beginning. I would suggest that after you get my grading feedback on Milestone 1, that you go ahead and make the slides just like I've shown you, because you're going to have these for the final project. If you do that, you're one step ahead, and you won't have to redo those or do them at the last minute before you turn in that final project. So I suggest you make those slides after you get your grading feedback on Milestone 1. As always, please let me know if you have any questions, if you have any biology questions, if you have any formatting questions. If you have just a question about life, I am perfectly willing to answer them or give you some advice. The best way to reach me is to email me at m.sigmon@snhu.edu. And let's see what great topics you come up with and what great information you come up with.